the other patrons. We'll be done here shortly, and you can get back to your ball games. People ask me why am I running in this race, and it's really quite simple. I want to see our village limit the amount of revenue and taxation and spending that goes on here. I think that runaway spending is something that can happen very easily in any government, and I want to see that limited, and I'm afraid that we're going to get addicted to that here in Homer Glen, and I want to put a stop to that, keep it under wraps. But I think back to, really when Vivian and I came to this community in 1993, she was expecting her first child, lovely Sophia, who checked everyone in tonight. We looked for a place to set up our home, our very first home, and we found it here. The semi-rural environment with all the amenities we need just minutes away. This is a sort of characteristics that attracted hundreds of families over the years. We became one of the fastest growing suburbs in Illinois as a result of that. And of course those growth concerns brought the challenges of their own, and we found that every time a new development was coming to town, we were at the mercy of the county board. And we had 3 very strong county board members who fought for our interests, but they were 3 out of 27, so there was never any guarantee of the kinds of zoning that we would get in place and whether it would really be to our liking. So we understood that incorporation was ultimately going to be necessary. I was not a fan of incorporation initially because I just don't like adding a layer of government where it's not necessary, but upon closer look, it was really the only practical way to control our own destiny. And really I could sum up my campaign in one simple phrase, and that's autonomy without government largesse. We incorporated for the sake of getting the autonomy so that we could control our destiny, the zoning, the density, the makeup, the level of quality that we wanted in development in our community, and that was the real reason. And I knew that the people I was working with at the time had some different ideological beliefs than I did, although we were working for a common cause on incorporation. I knew that once we got over that hurdle of incorporating, that there was the potential for additional taxes, fees, and things like that some folks saw the opportunity to do. And that's not why I wanted to incorporate things like stickers for your car and additional fees for services and so forth. I wanted a bare bones community that just gave us the autonomy we were looking for. So I want to keep that going in Homer Glen. I think the top priority for us here is going to be commercial development. I know that a lot of folks out there like the parks and the trails, and they want to promote that and put those amenities in place. And those are fine amenities. I'm not generally opposed to those. But I think that against the backdrop of a struggling economy, that those items can be tabled for a while until we develop our commercial base further. Let's see the economy get back on its feet. Let stores and shops like Meijer, Walgreens, CVS, companies who are already approved to come in here and start business, let them get set up, let the revenue start flowing, let the sales taxes start going through, and then we can consider looking at parks and trails. I think that would be a more prudent approach myself. If the funding can come from other sources for parks and trails, then fine, let's consider that. But I don't think we should be paying that out of municipal revenues at this time. I think we need to focus on commercial growth, and that's my aim is to be on the Community and Economic Development Committee, put together a great marketing plan, a package that we can take to big retailers such as the Cabela's, the Macy's, the Coldwater Creeks, the Joseph Banks, etc., and lay that package on the table and tell them why they should invest in Homer Glen. We need to bring that tax base in here. We'll have more residential development as well, but we want to see the commercial outpace the residential slightly, especially along 159th Street, because we're going to have a lot of flow-through traffic there from folks who don't necessarily live in Homer Glen, but their tax revenues are certainly appreciated. I'm sure all of you can think of dozens of examples. I think of one, it's the clothes I'm wearing, the shoes I'm wearing. I cannot buy this in Homer Glen right now if I wanted to. I have to go somewhere else for this. I want to change that. And you can all, like I say, think of dozens of examples of that. So let's get that commercial base developed. Light industry too. Lloyd, you brought that up. That's another thing we can do as well. Bring the industry to commercial in. Not only does it mean retail tax, but it means property taxes that get paid to the school systems to help alleviate the burdens on residents as well. So there's a two-pronged approach, and those are my priorities: commercial development and putting the parks and the trails on the back burner for the time being. So I'll be happy to discuss any questions. I think Homer Glen can be and is the potential to be a shining city on the hill, to steal another line from a famous politician. I think we have a long, wonderful future ahead of ourselves here, and we have to just get good, prudent, conservative, right-minded people in the office. And I can work with anybody. That's the thing. I know a lot of folks on the board already. I think they're good people. We want to get to the same place. But I think there's some different ideas about the road that will be traveled to get there. So I welcome the challenge, and Ted, I hope that you and I can serve together on there. We are of very like mind. I'm hard-pressed to think of some things that we disagree on. Maybe you can settle some. But anyway, thanks for the kind words. And everybody, thank you for your support. Thanks for coming out tonight. God bless. Hope you have a great Lenten season, Passover season to our Judeo-Christian friends. So anyway, that's it. Have a great night.